My name is Narin, and today we're going to be looking at communication in the show What Not to Wear. For those of you who haven't seen the show before, it stars Stacey and Clinton, two fashion consultants, who are contacted by people all over the world who feel that someone they love is in desperate need of a fashion makeover. So this next picture you see is going to be of Stacey and Clinton, the two fashion consultants. Although a makeover seems minor, Stacey and Clinton go beyond the exterior appearance to help their clients reveal problems that lie much deeper. In the episode we're looking at today, a mom and sister contact Stacey and Clinton about a single 29-year-old woman named Desiree. Um, Desiree is living out a delayed childhood after having a baby at the young age of 19. Now, however, that the baby is heading into her teens, this young mom is dressed way too young and is showing off way too much skin. Here's a picture of Desiree before she went on the show. Note the skimpy outfit. In an interview with Stacey and Clinton, the sister of Desiree explains that, quote, she had her daughter at such a young age, she wasn't able to do things a young woman is supposed to do, unquote. Now Desiree is dressing very provocatively to make up for lost time. Desiree, on the other hand, says, I think I look good. After many seasons of starring in What Not to Wear, Stacey and Clinton are brilliant at getting clients to follow their advice and take action to change the way they dress. Getting clients to take action is the number one sign that Stacey and Clinton have communicated effectively with their client, because merely convincing Desiree that there's a problem means nothing if she doesn't go out and act on it by changing the way she dresses. Instead, time is simply wasted. So in the episode we're looking at today, it can be seen that Stacey and Clinton follow an important three-step process to ensure that Desiree will take action by ridding herself of her old wardrobe and start fresh with a new one. The three steps, according to Tubbs, are 1. Facilitate understanding of the request, 2. Secure the agreement that the request is legitimate, and 3. Maintain a relationship with the receiver. Maintain a relationship with the receiver. Okay, so if it sounds like I just lapsed into French, let's look at each step individually and break down the process. Alright, so step 1, facilitating understanding of the request. Stacey and Clinton do this as they surprise Desiree in the town square of Puerto Rico. Here they introduce themselves in the What Not to Wear show. They also introduce the deal. So the deal proposed by Stacey and Clinton is the request in this step. To ensure understanding, Clinton explains it very clearly. You get $5,000, we get your old clothes, and you follow the rules. Basically what he said. Stacey explains it further. I have a direct quote. Come to New York, bring your entire wardrobe with you, whatever we say goes, goes, and then you shop by our rules, unquote. The request here is short, sweet, and to the point. Surrounded by family, Desiree slumps when she hears the rules. It's clear that she understands the request. She has to get a new wardrobe. But getting Desiree to understand the request is important in communication because you need to understand the process to ensure full cooperation throughout the process. If Desiree were confused about the deal, she might not fully agree to take action because of a stipulation that might not even exist. By slumping, she's showing the audience that she understands the significance of the deal and shows that she is not thrilled about having to change something that right now she sees no problem with. Steps 2 and 3 happen simultaneously and are a little bit more complex than just explaining a concept. The steps again are securing an agreement that the request is legitimate and maintaining a comfortable relationship with the receiver, who again is Desiree. Let's look at securing an agreement that the request is legitimate first. Desiree doesn't see a problem with the way she dresses. She says repeatedly, I think I look good. Stacey and Clinton need to help her to see that dressing differently will impact her in a positive way. Friends and family have recorded Desiree and her outfits over the course of a few months, and this gives Stacey and Clinton the opportunity to sit down with Desiree in private and review those clips. The purpose of this is to ask Desiree some personal questions to find out how she really feels about the way she dresses. Does she really think she looks good when she dresses like this? So let's take a look at that picture again. When looking at an extremely skimpy outfit of Desiree standing outside talking on her phone in broad daylight, Clinton starts the conversation by asking, quote, "Where on earth could you be going at this time of day dressed like that?" Unquote. Desiree responds that she wears the outfit to work all the time. It turns out that Desiree works in a firm full of heterosexual men, but she doesn't date them. She just likes to flaunt herself in front of them. Um, this opens the door for Clinton. Quote, "Let's talk about the type of men you meet. Men who are coming up to say hello to you. Are they the type of men you'd be interested in?" And when Desiree responds, "No, never," thank you, Stacy, for then asking, quote, "Did you ever think there was a correlation between the type of men who are coming up to you and what you're wearing?" Desiree had never thought about it before. Suddenly the request seems legitimate. As Desiree looks at the outfit later on that Stacy and Clinton have picked out for her, she says, "I want to find Mr. Right, and I think this will help me." For Desiree to say, "I think this will help me," is a huge step in the right direction for Stacy and Clinton. Stacy and Clinton are also able to use step 2 along with steps 3 to uncover another problem between Desiree and her daughter. Stacy asks, quote, "What do you think your look says to a 12-year-old girl?" Unquote. Had Stacy asked this to Desiree when they first introduced the request, Desiree probably would have ignored the question and said, "I think I look good," just like she had for every other question they asked her at the beginning of the show. Now, however, since Stacy and Clinton have begun to develop a relationship with Desiree, or as step 3 says, maintain a relationship with Desiree, Desiree is more willing to answer questions, and Stacy and Clinton can dig deeper to convince Desiree that the request is legitimate. Like I said before, these steps go hand in hand. As Stacy and Clinton begin to convince Desiree that the request is legitimate, Desiree also starts to trust Stacy and Clinton more. This works in the opposite order as well. Because Stacy and Clinton maintain a relationship with Desiree, they would be able to convince her more deeply that their claim is legitimate. Stacy continues to dig deeper. She says, quote, "Would you let Tiffany, her daughter, leave the house dressed this way?" Desiree breaks down. She starts crying. She says, "I don't want her to be this way. I don't want her to be like this." And with this quote, we can see that Desiree really isn't happy with the way she's dressing. Even though at the beginning of the episode, that's all she could say is, "I'm happy with the way I look." This is important because it shows that building a relationship with someone that you're trying to communicate with effectively really makes a difference. Now that Desiree is aware of the deal and comfortable with Stacy and Clinton, she's also convinced that she must change for her own good and the good of her daughter. So it's time to see if she'll take action. I have a picture here of Desiree after the reveal, which means after she went out and shopped, and this is her new look. Let's take a look here. When Desiree went to New York, she had no problem following the rules that Stacy and Clinton had provided to her. In the first store, she held up a miniskirt and said, "I really like this, but it doesn't follow the rules." So she put it back on the rack. After the shopping process was over, Desiree looked at herself in the mirror and began to cry. She said, "This is the real me. Guys were looking at me for my body and not my heart. Now that I'm polished and everything, I know that Mr. Right is coming my way." Stacy and Clinton have communicated effectively with Desiree, and it shines through at this moment. Desiree had gone out on her own and had chosen outfits that worked well for her shape, and more importantly, for her age. She is so pleased with her new look that she's going to continue to act as Stacy and Clinton taught her to. She's never going to go back to living her delayed childhood as she did before. And that's effective communication in the show What Not to Wear.